I'm sure people have seen it by now, the all green reception perception chart on Travis Hunter. I'm a big fan of him as a wide receiver prospect, Charles, but I want to hear what you think when you're just viewing him as a wide receiver. And I know and I am as well, very fond of him as a cornerback, but when you just look at him as a wideout, what do you see there?
He's explosive. Like the same thing, some of the same things that make him such a great cornerback prospect also translate to wide receiver. Like the ball skills, the length, the speed, just like general ball tracking ability. Like he's got just like some natural gifts that I don't think you can teach in terms of like just hand-eye coordination, the athleticism, and I think that it kind of gives him it gives him an edge where he can be like this productive and go win the Blitnikoff Award with 14 receiving touchdowns. Even though I do think there's some areas on his game that he needs to work on, and like the more that I interviewed Deion Sanders earlier this week for Football 301, which I think is coming out later today. We've been digging around on some Travis Hunter stuff for the All Juice team, and I think some of like the imperfections that I see with his wide receiver game are really just related to practice time. And I think you just have to look at it realistically. Like if you're going to be a player that's playing anywhere from 120 to like 150 snaps in a college football game, you can only really play so much football during the week before you get to game day without just crashing. So it seems like Colorado, they prepared him as a cornerback first, and then the wide receiver stuff was like, well, you can do this too, but we're going to have to put that on separately. And I think that shows a little sometimes because, there will be stretches in these games where he's just like kind of really like decoy stuff like on the outside. It's not as bad as like when Corey Coleman was running the Baylor offense, they just wouldn't run routes sometimes. But there's a lot of routes where I think you can see they're trying to conserve his energy and then maybe save him for bigger moments. But with all that said, like the fact that he can be like this good, while I think that there's still like finer moments and like finer things that he can refine on, being more precise with his routes, being more precise, like being in sync with his teammates sometimes, that's pretty damn exciting too, because it feels like unlimited upside for him as a wide receiver because you have those traits and you have the proof of production while he's splitting time playing another position. It's pretty remarkable that like again, we're sitting here in the spot where he's like a legitimate first round prospect at two positions. I still see him as cornerback first, but as a wide receiver, I think what's really exciting about him is just the ceiling is so damn high.
Yeah, unlimited upside, like you said, I think is the way to frame it, because I agree with your points about his route running where, like, for some of the finer details, they're not there, yet he still obliterates everybody in terms of separation. Like, he's still an elite tier separator. Like, there's a difference between being an elite route runner and elite separator, I mean, they're two different things, and, you can argue about which one's more important or the other, and some guys are both, right? Like, some guys are Stephon Diggs, are elite route runners and elite separators, Devontae Adams, et cetera, et cetera. But like Travis Hunter, I think right now he gets open versus everybody, even if some of the routes are not totally tightened up. But you mentioned that. I look forward to listening to the interview with you and Coach Prime, because he was not practicing as an offensive player. He was barely in the offensive meetings. And I've even heard some people like this. Nate's biggest flaw with him is just the weight, because he's a sub 190 pounds at over 6 feet tall. I even have talked to some people that have theorized like, oh, maybe he's that light because his cardio has to be absolutely outrageous, because he's playing.
That's right.
He's playing 100.
That's kind of where I've been.
Yeah, like he's playing 100 damn snaps in a game, and like you listen to him talk, and he definitely is going to try to play both ways. Like I think or at least that's what he wants to do. Now I think if the Browns take him second overall, he's going to be a wide receiver. Like they view him as a wide receiver first. You listen to Andrew Barry talk about him, and he's obsessed. Like he's absolutely obsessed. So we can sit here and talk about the QB spot as we're showing on the live feed right now. Big old question mark. I'm not trying to hype up Travis Hunter and then see him catching passes from Kenny Pickett. Okay, let's hope the Browns have something else up their sleeves from a quarterback position. But I mean, he is truly like a gravitational force, a changing player in your offense, that he knocks Jerry Jeudy down to being a second fiddle, which is what he needs to be. I'm still interested in Cedric Tillman as an X receiver. I think Travis Hunter moves around the formation for you. So, I get it. I totally understand why they view him as a wide receiver. Again, he is a tier 1 prospect to me. I like him as much as I liked a guy like Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors last year, just as a pure wide receiver. And I think he's going to change this offense, or any offense, for the better as soon as he hits the field.
Dude, look at this. For those who are listening to audio, we have a graphic of the Cleveland Browns' potential offense. And I think this right here is the argument against picking him number 2 overall. What are we doing here? The only quarterbacks they have on the roster are Deshaun Watson and Kenny Pickett. As good as anyone thinks Travis Hunter can be, what is he changing about this situation that they have going on there? To me, this would just be the most heartbreaking situation for us as football fans, because he goes to a team that has no real hope of being that competitive in the near future. They're going to have to retool the offensive line. They have the Deshaun Watson contract they'll be dealing with for the next 4 or 5 years. Myles Garrett's about to eat into that too. I really just hope. I hope they pass. I hope they pass just for all of us, because what a damn, that would suck so much if he ended up in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's really, honestly,
shame.
It's really mixed. It is mixed feelings from a fantasy angle too, Charles, because, and I've gone back and forth with this about people, in no way do I want to sit here and root for one of my favorite receiver prospects that I've ever watched, a guy that I compared to prime Odell Beckham. I don't want to sit here and root for him to play for the damn Cleveland Browns with this big triple question mark at quarterback that we're looking at here. Other questions on this roster too, this offensive line is kind of a ticking time bomb. But again, separate conversation. It's just the fact that we, I think, have very clear indicators that if he goes to Cleveland, he is going to be a wide receiver, from a selfish receiver guy perspective, certainly from somebody that, if he is going to land in Cleveland, he'll at worst be the 3rd overall pick in dynasty rookie drafts, just depending on what landing spot Amarian Hampton goes to. If he goes to a great team in the 1st round, I might think about taking him over Travis Hunter just because of this landing spot. But again, it's a little bit of a conflicted feeling there. I will just say, we saw Malik Neighbors go to the Giants last year and just get boat loaded with targets from miserable quarterbacks. If the Browns take Tyler Shuck on day 2 and they add Kirk Cousins, I can cope with that enough for Travis Hunter in year 1.
Oh, man.
I also do kind of buy the theories, Charles. I don't want to go tangent here, but I also kind of do buy the theory that the Browns, who have an owner who wants to make a splash, they also have just no hope, as a team right now, that they take Hunter at 2nd overall and then mortgage a little bit of their future, use some extra picks to move back up in the 1st round to take Shedeur Sanders. I think Todd McShay had that in his most recent mock draft. Again, just an interesting note there. I do kind of buy that might be something that happens.
Well, shoot, they got to do something, right?
Yeah, right.
The clock is ticking. We're like I said, we're 2 weeks away from the draft. The only quarterbacks they have on roster are Kenny Pickett and Deshaun Watson. So functionally, the only quarterback they have on roster is Kenny Pickett. That's not tenable. We've all seen Kenny Pickett play. They're to me, they're just in such prime trade down. Just collect as many picks as you can. But I guess if you're on the hot seat, which I'm going to have to assume that they are in Cleveland, you're just going to have to grab the best player and hope he can jumpstart your offense into being something more significant than it was a year ago. Which personally, I think is a lot to put on his shoulders year 1, because I do think when he gets to the NFL, it's just going to be an adjustment from what he was, from what the demands were in college of him playing wide receiver. But obviously, he's got the skill to figure it out. The only thing I have on Travis, as far as the both way stuff, is, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. You're playing on a rookie deal, man. Don't let them get 2 positions for 1 paycheck. That's crazy. So just pick one. Maybe you dabble on the other side in Hail Mary situations. But if you're going to be a wide receiver, just be a wide receiver. Deion thinks he can do both full time at the next level. I think that's nuts, but we're going to see, right? He's certainly going to try.
He is certainly going to try, and I can't wait to see his development at the wide receiver position, because, like I said, he's one of my favorite prospects I've ever charted. Just an incredible player.